Hi there, this is Ranjit from tech2buzz.com, and today we'll be doing the in-depth review of this HTC One X. This is a high-end Android phone, and currently it is the flagship Android phone from HTC, and this sells in India for approximately about 36,500. And the good thing about this phone is that it has some very powerful specs. Let me talk about the same first. It comes with a quad-core processor, that's a Tegra 3 processor. As it's a quad-core phone, it has 4 cores that are clocked at 1.5 gigahertz, and we have one extra core, that's the companion core. And when, let's say, the phone is something like in the standby position or like that, the companion core comes into action so that you can get better battery life. Again, this phone sports a very good screen, and it's a full 720p HD screen. That means it has a resolution of 720 by 1280 pixels. That comes to a PPI of 312, and I have to say the screen quality of this phone is very good. And if you see the viewing angles also, they are pretty good. I'll just increase the brightness a little bit. Let's go to display and gestures, and this phone comes with the latest version of Android, that's Android 4 out of the box, and it runs the HTC Sense version 4. Let me increase the brightness a little bit, and now I want to show you the screen quality. And the screen quality, if you notice, is pretty good. Tilting the phone to extreme angles, then also it is visible. So the screen quality is very good, and it's a Super IPS LCD2 screen, and I have to say it is one of the best LCD screen I have seen. Again, it's not comparable to Super AMOLED screens, but again, I found the accuracy of colors to be very good, and I have to say this is one of the best LCD screens I have seen on an Android phone. Now let me just show you some of the settings. Again, as this comes with ice cream sandwich, HTC has customized this, and you get the spring action like this. If you go to the settings and other menu tabs, that's pretty nice. And first, let me give you a quick physical overview of the phone. Again, as I've already mentioned, it sports a 4.7-inch screen, but again, the phone is very comfortable to hold. It's a little bit long, but again, while you hold it in the hand, it is very comfortable. And also, the phone is pretty light for its size. It just weighs 130 grams. You have to hold it to believe how light the phone is. And on the front, we have this nice speaker grill, and we have a front facing camera which is a 1.3 megapixel, and it can also shoot videos in 720p HD. We have the ambient light sensor, we have the proximity sensor, and we also have a LED notification light, so that if you have a, let's say, a missed call or something like that, it will be notified. It blinks in green color. And if you go towards the bottom, we have 3 touch type capacitive buttons actually, and they are the back, home, and the multitasking tray. I'll talk about it later on. And if we go towards the back, we have a 8 megapixel rear facing camera which can again shoot videos in full 1080p and even 720p. And we have the HTC logo, nothing else, and we have the speaker grill at the bottom. Do note that this phone accepts only a micro SIM, and the battery also on this phone is actually non-removable, and the capacity of the battery is 1800 milliampere battery. And if we go towards the top, we have the on-off button, we have the 3.5mm headphone jack, we have the ambient noise cancellation mic, and on this side we have the volume rocker, nothing else. There is no dedicated camera shutter button, microphone pinhole, and on this side we have the micro USB slot that will be used for charging and syncing. I have done a detailed unboxing video of this phone, so if you want to know what comes inside the box, you can check out that video. Now moving on, again, as I said, the specs on this phone are pretty good. This phone comes with the internal storage of 32 GB, and we do not have a micro SD card or something like that to expand the storage, but we do get cloud storage courtesy of Dropbox, and we get 25 GB of online storage for the first 2 years if you open up the Dropbox account. When you first set up the phone, it asks you to set up your Dropbox account, and if you do that, you'll get 25 GB of storage. Let me talk a little bit about the RAM. The RAM on this phone is 1 GB, and let me show you the storage now. And if you go to the storage, we actually have 32 GB of storage. Out of that, 2.1 GB of storage is reserved for your app, so I feel that's plenty. And we have actually 26 GB of usable storage. We also get a dedicated task manager. Let me show you the RAM. And we get the task manager, and as you can see, I'm going to kill all the apps now by using the stop all button and refresh the same. And out of that 1 GB, approximately about 670 MB of RAM is used by the phone. But again, I did not find any lag or anything like that when using the phone. It is silky smooth, no issues with the same. Now let me show you the speakerphone quality of the phone. Let me just make this call and I'll switch the speakerphone. Again, the speakerphone is okay, I would say, but a little bit shrill to my liking. It's not very loud. Also, this phone comes with Beats audio, but the bundled headset that HTC gives us are just the ordinary headset. But you can plug in any ordinary headset here, and when you plug in that, you get the option to enable Beats audio. And when you enable Beats audio, the audio quality is enhanced a little bit. I would say it adds a little bit depth, but nothing spectacular, I would say. And now moving to the actual call quality on the phone, the speaker grill over here is very good and it is very loud. I would rate the call quality on this phone to be about 8.5 out of 10, because I felt that the signal strength on this phone varies a lot. Generally, where I test this phone, I use the same SIM, and generally I always get a full signal here. But with this phone, the signal at times varies a lot. It drops down to 3 bars, and I've noticed it happens a lot. And when I'm making a call and when that happens, the audio little bit gets distorted. I wouldn't say it's bad, but I would say it is not the best I've seen. But on the other hand, the microphone is very good, and the other party where I made several calls, they said my voice was very clear. Now let us test the web browser on this phone, and let us go to tech2bus.com first. And I have to say the keyboard also on this phone is actually very good. And I'm connected via the Wi-Fi right now. And it loads the Tech2Bus site pretty fast. The kinetic scrolling is also really fast. Let us check if flash is enabled, and I'm going to enable flash on the same, and let us open up one of the stories. And now what I'm going to do is, let's try to play this flash video. We'll go in this orientation and we'll just hit this one. And as you can see, it plays the flash videos without any issues. Let us do the pinch to zoom gesture, and that is also pretty smooth, I would say. So it can play flash videos without any issues. I'll get back. And now let us go to one more site, that is Engadget website. And it is going to the mobile version of the Engadget website, and if you have noticed, it loaded it pretty quickly. Again, the kinetic scrolling is silky smooth, but this is the mobile version. Let's go to the desktop version. I've clicked on the same, and again, as you noticed, it even loaded the desktop version pretty fast. And let us do the pinch gesture. Again, the pinch gesture is a little bit choppy, I would say. I think so that is because of the text reflow function that HTC does on their phone. But again, it is a little bit choppy to my liking. It's not very good. As you can see, it is choppy. It's trying to do the text reflow. For example, if I do like this, it reflows the text. So overall, I'd say the browsing is really good. But seriously, HTC needs to work on this pinch to zoom gesture, because it is quite choppy for a quad core phone, and I have seen even single core phones doing this pinch to zoom gesture a lot more smoothly. That's one con I have. But again, it is pretty usable, I would say. And also it can play flash content embedded within the browser. And now regarding the user interface, this phone comes with the Sense version 4, and in my testing I didn't find any lag or anything like that. It's silky smooth to operate, and also you get this gesture where you can see all the home screens, and we get actually 7 home screens with the phone. And if you also hold the home button for a while, you will get to these all 7 home screens, and whenever you tap this home screen, it will always take you to this center home screen. I'll show you one more thing. We have these 3 icons, and we also get folders with this. And let's say if I drag this folder inside this, you can easily do this and create a folder. Now we can access all these 3 apps within this folder. So that's one more thing that we get. Again, I found the Sense UI to be good. And I'm glad that it's not as bloated as the earlier versions of Sense. And we have this multitasking tray, and if you click on the same, we get a tray like this. It's actually different compared to the stock Android that you get. I actually prefer the stock Android, not this. But again, you can also close the apps like this. If you do, it closes the app. Let's say the web browser is there and you want to close it, you can just swipe it and it closes. And this is the app tray. And you can scroll between them in this fashion. And we also get options like this, handy options, where if you just want to quickly just display the downloaded apps, you click here and it will just display the downloaded apps. We also have the frequent tab, and if you click here, you get to the frequent tab. So pretty functional, I would say. And again, we also have direct access to the Play Store over here. And let me show you the widgets now. Let me remove this widget. I just hold it and go here, we can remove it. Now let's add a widget, and that is also very easy. You just tap the home screen and you get all these widgets. Now let's say we'll add this clock. It's very easy. You just hold to this clock and take it to an empty area and leave it, and it shows as what. I'll just select one of the current location, and okay. And now we have this clock widget. So that's how you manage widgets on the same. It's pretty easy, and we do get quite a few widgets actually. A bunch of calculators, calendar app, again a lot of clocks we get, actually ton and tons of clock. And we have this friend screen, Gmail, and bookmarks. And HTC has provided us with a lot of widgets. And we also get these handy quick widget. This bar, I actually like this data dashboard a lot. You can just place that, and now you can quickly toggle between mobile data connection, Wi-Fi connection, etc. That's pretty handy. Also, as this is running on the ice cream sandwich, you need to scroll down here to get to all the settings, and here you have all the settings. And with this ice cream sandwich, you also get this mobile data usage, and here it will track the amount of data that you have used if you're using a data plan. Now regarding the media playback, I didn't have any issues with the same. I was able to play back 720p videos and even 1080p videos without the same. I used the MX video player with the same, and it was able to play a lot of video formats. No issues with the same. Now coming to the camera performance of this phone, the rear facing camera on this phone is an 8 megapixel shooter, and it also has some enhanced features that I'm going to show you right now. And we hit this to get to the camera app right away. And actually, if you look at the camera app, we directly have these 2 switches. This is for just taking regular snapshots, and if you hit this, you can directly take a video. And I would say that the camera quality on this phone is actually very good. I have to say it is one of the best camera phones for an Android phone. I have taken a lot of photographs with the same, as you can see, and I have made a detailed video regarding the camera performance of this phone. So if you want to know more about the camera performance, just check out that video. But overall, I would say the camera performance on this phone is very good. Now moving to the battery life, this phone comes with a non-user replaceable battery, and you cannot access the battery actually, and the capacity of the battery is 1800 milliamperes. And I would say that this is one of the sore points of this phone. I would say the battery life is okay with light usage, but I've noticed that if you do a lot of what I say web browsing or play a lot of games, the battery drains pretty quickly. I would say that with the conservative usage, you can get a battery life of about 18 to 20 hours. But if you do a little bit of, let's say, hour or so of web browsing every day, and let's say you play games for about 15-20 minutes, and I would say about half an hour of voice calls, then the battery life would just last you about 12 to 15 hours. I would say the battery life is a little bit low to my liking. Also, one thing that I have noticed is that if you do a lot of web browsing and let's say you're playing a lot of flash videos, etc., the rear portion of the phone over here, actually particularly this area, becomes uncomfortably hot. I did not like the same. I have seen phones to become warm, but in this phone with a lot of gaming and let's say heavy web browsing, this area becomes uncomfortably hot. Also, while I was playing a couple of flash videos and I just took a claw, and this area was also hot during that time. Now moving to the gaming performance, actually the gaming performance also on this phone is very good. Let me play this Temple Run game. And this is a very simple game actually. And as you see, it's very smooth to play. Instead of playing games and showing you, I'll just show you some of the benchmarks so that you can get an idea about the performance on this phone. So first I'll show you the Quadrant Benchmark, and we get a score of 4489. So that was the Quadrant Benchmark. Now what I'm going to do is run this Nina Mark II, and this will test the GPU performance, and I feel that is really important for gaming. And I ran it earlier and I got a score of 47.3. Let's run it again. I'm getting an FPS of about 50. That's pretty impressive. And do note the screen resolution on this phone is 720p, so it's higher than the normal Android phones that come with 400 by 800 pixels. So the GPU needs to push a lot more pixels. And we're getting approximately about 40 FPS right now, 45, 50. And we get a final score of 47.2. And I feel that is actually pretty good because the Galaxy Note gets a score of about 36 on this benchmark, and the Samsung Galaxy S2 gets about 46. So, but again, do note that the Samsung Galaxy S2 has a lower resolution screen, so the GPU doesn't have to work that hard. So overall, I could say that the gaming performance on this phone will be very good. Also, I'm going to run this AT&TU benchmark, and we get a very impressive score of 10,039, and needless to say, this is the highest I've seen on any Android phone till date. And you can just pause the screen to see the individual scores over here. So what are my final thoughts about this phone? Overall, HTC has done a great job. The build quality of this phone is exceptional. It's very good. And the screen also on this is very good, actually pretty nice. And the accuracy of colors of the screen is also very good. Though the Super AMOLED will be a little bit sharper. I would say this is a very good phone, and I would say currently it is one of the fastest Android phone that you can buy, and the first quad-core Android phone. But again, it's not perfect. There are some issues with the phone, particularly with a lot of web browsing. I found the phone heats up a lot, particularly this area, and it just does not get warm, but it gets uncomfortably hot at times. Also, it gets hot while doing a lot of 3D gaming. And again, the battery life, I would say, is actually below average to my liking. Again, that might be fixed with the software update, but as of now, I don't like the battery life. And also at times I notice the signal strength to vary a bit. It's not always, but sometimes it does that. Again, coming down to the pricing, in India, this HTC has priced this phone close to around 37,000, and I feel that it is a little bit excessive in my opinion. I hope you found this video review helpful. If you liked it, I'll appreciate if you click on the like button. You can also subscribe to my channel to be notified about my future videos. That's it for now. This is Ranjit from tech2buzz.com, and I hope to see you in my next video.